I often hear when people are talking about advocating for mental health to get help, that it's okay to get help. But I think there's a reality that, especially depending who you are, that help isn't always available. So for me, peer support space is important because it's the difference between asking someone to reach out for help and that help being available or not. A peer respite is a break from hardship, but it is a space where you can go for free for 1 to 7 nights and just get away from home for a little bit. Peer respites can also catch people before they've broken down. You have somewhere to go before you get to that point, or I'm leaving the residential treatment center. They told me to change my people, places, things, but they sent me right back home. So, we can catch people before they break down or after they break down. And the idea is that we really use this ecosystem of resources that peer support space has, where you don't just have somewhere to get away for a few days, but now you have a support system with our community gatherings. You have a friend with our one-to-one peer support. You have wellness tools.
This respite is just this incredible, first of its kind resource. As far as support goes, they are just incredible with all the different resources and all the different groups that are available. It's vital for everyone to be able to have space, to be able to express, and to be able to meet other folks who are like-minded, who care, and who are just wanting to grow and wanting to help support each other through recovery, through our lives, through the journey that is our existence. If you are able to have the funds, it would be incredible to have donations for the growth and for the respite and for the services that we offer for peer support space.
Though Orlando sometimes seems to be an LGBTQ plus friendly place, we still live in a very hostile state. But there are a lot of ways where the current mental health system continues to inflict violence on people. This space needs to exist. It's going to transform lives. It's going to give people hope. It's going to give people strength. And I think that alone merits financial assistance, spiritual assistance, volunteering, whatever it is that this place will need to thrive, it really deserves it.
Peer support services are so necessary because a lot of people really aren't interested in having that kind of clinical relationship with a helper. I think a peer respite is important because you're getting the benefit of other people's lived experience. You're getting the benefit of people who have training. It's a certification. It's a real program that teaches them to support you in a way that you wouldn't get anywhere else. People should care about donating to peer support space because these are the right people at the right time doing the right things in the right way.
We prove how we support people like me, because I feel a peer support space saved my life, and I know the only way they save the life. Right now, mental health for a transgender person, a non-binary person, in this crazy, horrible moment, is something we needed, but we cannot have it. You see, peer support is working not only in a specific, communities, all of us together here with different mental health issues, maybe similar. I think in a political moment like now, mental health is one of the more important parts we needed. As a fighters, as activists, as members of the community, as peer supporters, we have to, I think is the base to survive. It's really needed, it's important because so many people need the same spaces for re-energize themselves, to have support from somebody, to feel a family place at least for a couple of days, or to feel it's a place you can come in for your support and your safety. We need your money, we need a lot of things from you too, but also act, speak up, talking about us, talking about peer support, talking about all the things we needed. That's a real ally, so that's the reason I say it's better an accomplice than a ally. And this is the moment to step up to that position. The space is, God is peace, and re-energize yourself to keep the fight, because we cannot stop to fight it in this moment.
I see firsthand these people that are coming for the support, especially in person. These people that are very anxious, very depressed, are very much struggling, mentally and socially, and just an hour and a half, just sometimes really does help. If more compassionate people contributed to the resources, to spaces like Eva's Casita, we'd see a huge shift in the well-being of those in our community. I hope in the near future we can see resources like this expand all across, not just Florida, nationally and internationally.
Peer support space has really been my answer of asking the universe for impactful, purposeful life work. So the Respite Center employs what is known as inclusive design, which is basically designing a space to accommodate the broadest number of individuals possible. And often that's taking into account factors like age, accessibility, culture, and really many factors. So this has just been a wonderful example of intentional design and really a close alignment with peer support spaces, core values. With an understanding of peer support spaces' mission and vision, we're creating a sort of ecosystem where both the Respite Center and all who spend time here have an opportunity to grow and thrive. There's really never been a more important time for us to do this work. I'm excited that this is potentially a model for future respites across the country. I think this is really a wonderful opportunity to support a grassroots effort and a group that is doing such important work in these underserved communities. As we invest in this particular organization and in the mission of this organization, it really pays back tenfold, both to the individual that's donating as well as really creating a ripple effect throughout this community and other communities as we do this work.
As far as I know, there's no other respites in the Central Florida area. And working at Recovery Connections of Central Florida, we do info and referrals, and I've faced challenges with people who were, say, coming out of a psych visit and they had found sober living, but it was going to be a week or 2 weeks before they could get a bed. They're coming out of, South Seminole Hospital with nowhere to go. I've seen firsthand from working in a respite the benefits, as opposed to an emergency room visit or a psych ward visit. I've seen the difference a respite could make, and I think it's much needed in this area. I worked at a respite in Georgia, and when people first came in, we did what was called a model introduction. We did what was called a respite conversation as opposed to an intake at a mental health facility. And then we did an exit conversation after they had been there up to a week, and just the difference you could see in people's attitude, their expression. You could tell that they benefited from being there. I was finishing up long-term treatment program in a little town called Moultrie, Georgia, and kept saying, I'm not staying at this place, there's nothing here. And I had walked up to what was called a peer support wellness and respite center. And the reason I went up there was go to a DTR meeting, which is Double Trouble in Recovery, and it's for people who have substance use issues as well as mental health issues. Got to know some of the people that worked there. They were peers. They had been through some of the same challenges I had been through. So I hung out so much they put me to work. And they sent me to Atlanta, got me certified. I met my mentor there through NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And that's where I found my purpose. I think every community should have a respite because they're so beneficial to people's lives.
Peer support space is important to have in our community because people are hurting and people need safe places to turn to. The most impactful thing it's done for me is that it's probably saved my life a bunch of different times when I've been like in crisis and, needed to reach out to someone or needed some level of support. The Respite is a place of communal care and healing and gathering to walk alongside others who maybe have similar lived experiences. And so I think through that, just through the act of communal care, that the Respite is able to help people, deal with what they're going through or just have a place to just rest, a place to just be and not necessarily worry about other things. I'm really excited about just the communal aspect in general, just the different communal spaces where folks can gather again, just thinking about Bell Hook's quote about rarely is healing done in isolation, but it's often done with others. People should care to donate because people are always talking about what can I do, how can I show up, if ever there was a time, I wonder what I would do. Well, now is the time, There's a lot of people in crisis and you have an opportunity to be a part of helping people navigate, the difficult times in their life. You have the opportunity to help literally save lives. You have the opportunity to be a part of someone's healing journey and their story. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to be a part of that.
Being able to have a space to get away when life gets hard, being able to connect with others that have similar lived experiences as you is life-saving. Research shows that staying at one night at a respite leads to 2 fewer hospitalizations that year. It saves millions of dollars to the local community in Medicaid expenditures. And most importantly, it keeps people out of really dark states and people have a safe space to go. In order to function, we kind of rely on being a part of systems unless we get enough individual donors and corporate sponsorships to where we don't have to turn someone away because they don't live here or because they're undocumented or because they want to use their name. So in order to support community, the community has to support one another.